What is up, my ninja? Shinobi here, bringing you guys another World of Warcraft Legion video, and today I want to answer the question that I get the most since I've been streaming World of Warcraft again and also making videos about World of Warcraft again. That question is World of Warcraft Legion worth it? Is it good? Is it bad? You know, is this the expansion we've all been waiting for? So I'm going to try to answer that question for you guys. Is World of Warcraft Legion good? Is it worth it? Should I get it? Such and so forth and all that kind of stuff. So for me, let's go for a little background history for me and my experience with World of Warcraft over the years. And this is important to the video because you may just want to get to the point where I just give you the thumbs up or the thumbs down, or I know you want me to get to that part, but you do need to have this kind of background information to bring it into it, because this shows some credibility behind it. It shows some information that's important for why I actually do enjoy playing Legion so far. Now, it is pretty early into Legion, but I am going to expand on that. And, you know, I was enjoying Warlords of Draenor in the beginning as well, too, and same thing goes for Mr. Pandaria, but then things kind of fell off from then. But there are some different elements in this expansion that we do need to talk about that I feel like are going to separate this from some of the expansions we've had for quite a while now. I went into this expansion very skeptical. In fact, I didn't even buy the expansion on launch. I didn't pre-order it. I didn't buy it on launch. I wanted to wait for reviews. I wanted to wait to see what other YouTubers are saying, other streamers are saying, people that have had my kind of experience in World of Warcraft, what they were thinking about the game. And a lot of those people put a lot of time into the betas. A lot of those people put a lot of time into, you know, just researching the game and seeing what it has to offer, not only now, but in the coming future, and all the kind of implications and features that are put into the game. Do they make the game better? Does it take your experience to the next level? And that's something we got to definitely talk about. Leading up to it, I did some research on it. I looked into the beta. I looked into the alpha. I had day one alpha access. I don't know, somebody at the World of Warcraft Blizzard area loves me because I was one of, like, I think 1,000 people in the world that actually had that kind of access. That's besides the point, but you know, I was pretty excited to be able to actually try it out early, and obviously early you can't really get a good interpretation on it. So as the time went on, I was still very skeptical about it. I mean, I didn't even really play the beta that much, and the reason why is because I was so skeptical about it that I had shut my brain off. I had said, you know what, I'm done with WoW. This is where I put my foot down. I'm not going back to this game. I am done with it. Like, you know, this expansion would have to blow my mind in order to get me back into it. Because you have to understand, me, the type of player that I am in World of Warcraft, and there's a lot of players out there like me, like a lot of you are like me in this situation where you played for so long that if an expansion comes out for World of Warcraft, it's going to have to knock your socks off. It's going to have to push you to the next level and make you feel like there's so much to do and get you immersed back into the game and care about the lore again, care about all the little intricacies of the entire game. You know, you're gonna have to get to that point in order to fully love World of Warcraft again, and I wanted to love World of Warcraft again. There's a big difference between an expansion being good and an expansion that you just fall in love with. Like, I loved Vanilla, and I thought that Burning Crusade was a great expansion, and I loved Wrath of the Lich King, right? So in order for me to, I want that experience again. I want that Wrath of the Lich King experience. I want that Burning Crusade experience again. And not only that, but don't copy-paste what we've done in the past. You need to be innovative. You need to bring new things to the table. You need to bring something that other developers aren't doing on different games. And lately it has seemed like in the past, Blizzard has been a little lazy for stuff like that. In Legion, that's not quite the case. And I gotta tell you guys, there is so much to do in Legion. Once again, I'm playing this game like 18 hours a day. I played it the other day for 23 hours straight. I'm not kidding. 23 hours straight I played this game the other day. I have not done that since Wrath of the Lich King. I have not done that since the launch of Diablo 3. I've not done that. So this game feels to me that it's pulled me back in. You know, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me right back in, like the line from the movie, or no, I think that's from Seinfeld or something like that. Just when I thought I was out, man. And I gotta tell you, I'm having a blast with Legion so far, and it's mainly for a lot of the reasons that we're gonna go over now. Now, like I said, I'm the type of player that I didn't even buy the game on the release. I need to be wowed by this. I mean, the name World of Warcraft, wow, you need to wow me. And this expansion has done that so far. And yes, it is early to be talking about this kind of stuff. And yes, I would love to tell you this information 2 months from now, 3 months from now, and I really hope that's the case. But things that Blizzard has done in this expansion lead me to believe that we have a great path ahead of us, and that this expansion is the one we've been waiting for since Wrath of the Lich King. So let's go over some of my likes about it, some of the things that I really want to touch on, and just dive right into it. So first off, the leveling process. Leveling from 100 to 110. It was fun. It was innovative. It was interesting. There was storylines, and I mean, there's always storylines in the leveling process, but there was like many cutscenes, and these cutscenes were well done, well like voice acted, and they hit you in the feels in some of them. And I mean, even after I got to level 110, and if I wasn't even done doing all the quests and areas, I wanted to keep questing. I wanted to keep going in those areas to get more of these cutscenes because they were addicting. They were amazing. That's an important word right there. When I get addicted to a game, that's a rare thing because, like I said, games need to really push me to the next level nowadays. I played so many games over the years. Legion has got me addicted again to playing an MMO, and I didn't think that ever happen again. I didn't think it would ever happen again, but it has happened. I mean, like I said, I've been putting crazy hours into this game. I mean, let me explain the leveling for you, and I want you to also keep in mind that I'm going to try to not spoil things in this for you, because if you are going to buy the game, if you're going to play it, I want you to enjoy it. I want you to get immersed into it. I don't want to give away things for you. However, I will talk about some of the features in the game, and we'll talk about that. So, one of the features in the game is the leveling experience, the way that it works. Blizzard has implemented so many things from Diablo 3. I mean, you guys know me in Diablo 3, okay? When I looked at World of Warcraft, I mean, I could instantly see all these things that were implemented from Diablo 3. I'm like, oh my god, oh, did people not notice this? How do people not know this? This is Diablo 3. There's so many Diablo 3 things here. What the hell? Like, I could see it. It's so plain and simple and so easy to see for someone like me that's played Diablo for so many years, and a lot of you guys, you probably see all this Diablo 3 stuff here, and I mean, some of the stuff is blatant. I mean, I believe there is a priest ability called Reaper of Souls. I'm pretty sure that's true. I don't know, but I'll annotate if that's not true. But I'm pretty sure there is a priest ability or a warlock ability called Reaper of Souls. That's just one thing. I mean, that's not even the tip of the iceberg. There are so many things. The artifact system, the artifact weapon system is essentially paragons. You have keystones in this game that are used for, what do you think? Greater Rifts. There's Greater Rifts in this game. They're just called Mythic Plus dungeons. There's Greater Rifts in this game. And Greater Rifts are my favorite thing about Diablo 3 ever. And it's in this game. I mean, someone like me that loves Diablo 3 and have spent thousands of hours playing Diablo 3, made hundreds of videos behind Diablo 3, streamed it for thousands of hours. Someone like me going into this expansion, waiting for World of Warcraft Legion to be the one again, and have all these D3 elements in there, and done well. Actually done better in a lot of cases than actually done in Diablo 3, which is funny. Which is really funny. So, I mean, if Blizzard were to be like, hey, we completely gut Diablo 3, which is what it looks like they did, and we are not going to continue Diablo 3 anymore, but we have all this awesome Diablo 3 stuff in Legion, so I think I would be fine with that. To be honest, I'd probably be fine with that. I think a lot of you would be as well once you try this stuff out, because there is a lot of D3 elements in here, and they are done very well in most regards. So yeah, and it's refreshing to me to kind of see something like that. But with that aside, one of the Diablo 3 things that they did on the long list of things that they did is they implemented scaling, leveling, and scaling zones, and scaling items and scaling everything pretty much. And the scaling system is ridiculous, and I'm probably going to make an entire video about it because it is genius and it's perfect for World of Warcraft. It's something that's been in Diablo 3 forever. You can go wherever you want in Diablo 3 and you can level up and the monsters scale to your level, and that's just how it works. That's how it works in this game as well. While you're leveling from 100 to 110, the monsters are going to scale to your level, the items are going to scale to your level, the XP is going to scale to you as well. XP has all been normalized pretty much because it's all scaled to your level essentially. So the way that it works is when you level from 100 to 110, you're typically going to level from 100 to 105 slower than you're going to level from 105 to 110. In the past, that's not been the case in World of Warcraft because the amount of XP you need grows exponentially. However, you don't really get much stronger, and you have to go to these different zones and the XP starts scaling. But they try to like have it in the past in World of Warcraft where it was this kind of progression feel to it, whereas in this everything pretty much stays the same as far as difficulty-wise when leveling, but you get stronger, and that's the thing. Like, you get stronger because of your artifact weapon, which we're going to talk about that, and you get stronger because of the items you're finding and all this kind of stuff. And my character was very under-geared going into the expansion because I had not played in a long time. So leveling from 100 to 105 was pretty quick, but I mean, leveling from 105 to 110 was really fast. I mean, from 109 to 110, I think took me an hour, I think. And that's pretty crazy for the final level when you're getting to cap level. I probably never had that before in all of World of Warcraft. So it was refreshing to see that because for me, an old school player, the leveling process for me, I've had so many cap level characters over the years, and for me it's kind of like, okay, just get this over with so I can get to the real game already. But honestly, I actually really enjoy the leveling experience behind it, and and you're progressing your character overall because you're getting artifact power, and you're putting your points and getting to your ranks and everything, your artifact weapon. The quest lines for the artifact stuff was really interesting. Now I picked DK, and I gotta say right here, when you're doing, because right off the bat you're gonna get an artifact weapon and you're going to do a little quest for it. So whatever spec you build is whatever quest you're going to do for it. But as a Death Knight, when my homie, my boy, is the freaking Lich King, is Arthas. My boy is Arthas. That's amazing. That's so awesome. I love that. I love that feeling. Like, I went in there and he's like, what's up? Let's go. You got to get this weapon. And like, my army of people through this storyline is pretty much bosses that we've killed in the past expansions and things like that. It makes you feel like a badass. And that story-driven part of the artifact weapon, which I think a lot of people look over this part, was awesome. And I love that, and it keeps going, and your class journey thing keeps going, and you keep doing all your class hall stuff, and there's so much more to do, and you switch your specs and you do other ones, so you can get you get one artifact weapon kind of thing for your spec for each one of your specs. So for instance, I started off with Frost when I was leveling up for Frost DK, and then I went to Blood, and then I've been doing Unholy as well, and it's just so cool to be able to go through these areas, and it's kind of like going through a scenario. Essentially, you're going through a scenario where you're going and doing all this stuff. But anyway, I don't want to spoil a lot of stuff for you there, but just as a DK part, like, that was just so fun. And I've heard like my friends talk about other classes that they're playing and them going through that, and they were having similar experiences with like, just all these guys, Tyrion, and just, it's so awesome to see all these characters. It makes you feel like you've accomplished things over the years, and it's like, welcome back, hero. We know that you've been through it all, the ups and downs. We know that you've took on Deathwing. We know you've took on the Lich King. We know you've took on Elodin. We know you've done all this stuff in the past, and you're here, our hero, to go on in the future to take on the Legion, and we're with you because you beat us, right? And that's a feeling you get from it. Maybe I'm just playing it up way too much, but it's an exciting feeling, and it's nice. It's like a welcome back, and that's one of the little small things that stood out a lot to me in that way as far as the artifact weapon goes. But with that said, the artifact weapon, I did say that the artifact weapon was kind of similar to the Paragon system. So let me go ahead and explain this. A lot of my people that are going to watch this video are people that play Diablo 3. In Diablo 3, what is the Paragon system? Well, you gain XP, and the more XP you get, the stronger your character gets, which means the higher Greater Rift level tiers you do, right? That's pretty much it. The artifact power system is essentially, you have a bar where you're gaining artifact power, which essentially is like having XP for Paragons, and you're gaining that artifact power. You're doing it in interesting, unique ways, which is really cool. We're going to touch on that in a little bit. You're getting that artifact power, and you're putting more points into whatever skills and talents and passives and things like that that you want to get. So your character is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. For both of them, there is this plateau period. For artifact weapons, when you get to rank 13, and how many ranks you've put into things, you'll see it on the top left corner when you play. When you get to 13, that's like your plateau. That's like getting to 800 as a Paragon in Diablo 3. So when you get to that plateau period, usually most people quit the season in Diablo when they get to that Paragon area, because they're like, okay, now it's just a mindless grind for the rest of the season, blah, blah, blah. With artifact power, it's not like that. It is a grind, but you can work on other things. You can work on other specs, or you can just go solely into one spec and make yourself more and more powerful. And the more stronger you get and all these cool benefits that you get, I mean, the higher difficulties you can do Mythic plus dungeons, higher and higher and higher. You can bring that into raids. Yes, you have replayability with the Paragon system in Diablo 3, but the journey is not fun. It's fun for a little while, it's fun for a couple weeks, and then it's just really, really repetitive. This is not repetitive. This is done well, because you can do so many different things to achieve your artifact power. And when you do those different things to achieve your artifact power, you're like, oh, maybe I want to do some world quests, maybe I want to do some regular quests, maybe I want to do some dungeons, maybe I want to do some raids, maybe I want to do some PvP. I mean, you can have all these different options, but in Diablo 3, it's like, I gotta do greater rifts, and I gotta do greater rifts, and I gotta do greater rifts, and that's all you do forever until the end of time. Really, really like that. Let's talk a little bit about dungeons. I do see some dungeons going on in the background here, doing tanking since I haven't done tanking in like years, so I'm just kind of relearning the game and everything, and it's been a fun process. The dungeons remind me of Wrath of the Lich King dungeons. Essentially, you have normal dungeons, you have heroic dungeons, you have mythic dungeons, and you have mythic plus dungeons. So normal dungeons are like super easy mode, like really easy. Now the dungeons also scale as well. So when you're doing normal dungeons, you're doing one that's a below like 110 dungeon, you can play with like 103 people. Like I was 110 playing with 103s. And I was like, how is that even working? And it's because of this crazy scaling thing that they have. So to the 103 player, the mob is only a 103 mob, and he's in your group. But to you, the mob is a 110 mob. I don't know how they do it. It's freaking science, or it's wizardry. I don't know. They got something going on there, satanic rituals. I don't know how they do it. It's magic, I tell you. But it's amazing, and I got to research this, because it's so cool that it makes it work, because there's so many ways for that to go wrong, by the way. So many ways. So I'm going to talk about that, like I said, in probably a future video, but it's just fascinating to me. But yeah, you can do that. And then when you get into, you got your heroics, which heroics are like a little bit more difficult than regulars, but they're not difficult at all. Then you have your mythics, where essentially are like the heroics that you guys remember from Wrath of the Lich King back in the day. One of the coolest things that ever came out in the game ever were heroic dungeons back in Wrath of the Lich King. People love that kind of stuff, and they've done that more and more over the years. But the mythic dungeons kind of feel like heroics in that sense, where they have a little bit of difficulty to them. You have to pay attention a little bit, but they're not like super duper hard. Now mythic plus is when things start scaling up. This is your greater rifting area, and the mythic plus stuff is interesting because it scales more and more and more and more difficult. You have these affixes that are on the monsters. You have a time limit, kind of like you do in Greater Rifts as well, and that is something that's interesting. It has this kind of competitive element to it, and like makes you got to have that go 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 feeling behind you. But you also have to be you have to be efficient, but you also have to be you have to be good at what you're doing as well, proficient. So I'm really looking forward to Mythic Plus Dungeons. I'm going to be putting together some 5-man groups. I want to do groups with you guys with that. I want to do groups with like a tight-knit 5-person team. So if you guys are interested in that, come over to my live stream channel. Yeah, they're cool, and I'm interested in them. And I played, you guys know me, I've done thousands of Greater Rifts over the years. I'm so interested to see how good this can be. And from what I've heard so far, because I have not tried it out myself yet, what I've heard so far is that it is really, really cool, and really, really done well. So, you know, and I've heard this, and like, keep in mind, when I'm hearing things from people, I have YouTuber friends and streamer friends, people that have played the game, played World of Warcraft, played Diablo 3 for as long as I have, pretty much, and they're all saying the same stuff too. And everybody, the general consensus behind a lot of these people, probably around 95% of the people, is that there's a lot of positivity behind all of this stuff in World of Warcraft, and that's really awesome. So looking forward to that for sure. The dungeons, they also, like I said, they also kind of feel like Wrath of the Lich King dungeons because they're bigger and they're more intricate and more detailed, but they're not bigger in the sense of like Gnomeregan or something like that, right? No, it's not like that. It's bigger in the sense like the rooms are bigger and they're more, it feels like, you know, these big massive monsters live here, and it's got that sense of like, wow, we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. You know, it's like, holy shit, this is pretty cool. And I know they've done stuff like this in the past expansions, but in this one it just has that feel to it that makes you feel like, okay, this shit's getting real. Okay, this is cool. And then, you know, but like there's not like too much trash to do. It's like the perfect amount of trash in these dungeons. It's like the perfect amount of bosses. The dungeons don't take that long. They take maybe 20 minutes or so. But let's get into the final point. Let's get into my summary behind everything here. Now, this is going to help you decide on how to, if you want to purchase the game or not, or if you want to come back or whatever the case may be. But if you take anything from this video, take this one thing. When I play Legion, this is the thing that stands out the most to me. When I play Legion, I can tell that Blizzard has put so much effort into this expansion. You can just tell. It does not take a smart person, it does not take a professional gamer or anything like that to be able to tell that there has been a lot of care and love and passion put into this expansion. That's something that I have missed with World of Warcraft, because Blizzard has been one of the most passionate companies about gaming for years, and these last expansions did not feel that way. You did not get that sense of fulfillment from it and the feelings from that. But this expansion, you feel it, man. You feel it. There's just the little things they didn't need to do, right? I made a comparison on my live stream channel to Los Santos in Grand Theft Auto 5. There's so many little intricate things in there, and that's a game of the year type situation, right? I mean, that game is amazing. There's so many little intricate things in the world of Los Santos, these little things here and this attention to detail, and they didn't have to do a lot of this little stuff, but they did it because they're like, oh, it's like they woke. I get the sense when Blizzard worked on this game that they woke up in the morning, they went, I can't wait to go into work today and work on Legion. Let's do this shit. Let's show everybody that World of Warcraft is one of the best MMOs of all time. We're back, baby. Let's go. That's the kind of feeling that I get from this. And having someone like John Yang, which is one of the best developers and one of the best things that ever happened in Diablo 3, working on Legion as well, and implementing these Diablo 3 elements to it, but doing it in such a great way. It's just, there's so many good things about this. Now, like I said, hopefully, this kind of information, this kind of things we've seen so far in Legion, and the research that I've done about all this stuff, hopefully this stuff, because it's a lot of good news, hopefully this means that they keep with this. You know, if they don't keep this up, it's gonna die out and people are not gonna enjoy it as much. But they're already talking about the next patch coming up. You know, they've already been doing developer Q&As and all this kind of stuff. So I really feel like Blizzard is kind of like, okay, we've been lacking, and we know we've been lacking, and we know that we could do better, so let's do better. And that's what I think they are doing with World of Warcraft. You can feel it, you can just get that sense of feeling coming from it. You get the point. But overall, I am really just blown away by Legion so far. So much to do. I'm loving it. My experience has been great with the game, and I hope you guys are too if you have been playing it. If you have been playing the game and you enjoy it so far, let me know what your favorite stuff is about it. If you haven't been playing the game and you want to get into it, if this sounded interesting to you and you might pick it up, let me know. If you haven't played the game and you do have some problems with the game, let me know. This is not a perfect game. I mean, you guys might have thought that I thought that earlier on. It's definitely not a perfect game, but is definitely one of the best expansions I've ever played for World of Warcraft. I would put it up there with Wrath of the Lich King and Burning Crusade. It's not as good as those. It's kind of like they've taken some things from Burning Crusade and Lich King, and Burning Crusade and Lich King had a baby, and this is that baby. That's what it feels like. I'm having a blast with this game so far, guys. Obviously, as you can see, my energy levels from this video, the things that I've said in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it useful. If you did, throw a like on the video, subscribe, and comment down below like I said earlier. And we also have a guild started up on the server Arthas on the Horde. If you want to come over, come and check it out. We're going to be forming a guild. We have one of the biggest communities and one of the most active communities in Diablo 3, and we want to do that as well in our server here in World of Warcraft. So if you're welcome to come over, if you guys watch my videos, you watch the streams, stream is linked in the description down below. Click that stream link and come over, throw a follow, and just enjoy the experience with us, guys. It's been a blast so far, and I can't wait to see what comes next. And I really, really, really hope that this keeps this way, because I'm excited to play World of Warcraft again, and I have not said that since Wrath of the Lich King, and that's a little sad from one of the best, if not the best, MMO companies in the world. So, in my opinion anyway. I mean, I've played World of Warcraft for over 10 years. I haven't done that with any other game. So, to me, it's been the best. But, you know, sometimes you can't be the best forever, but it looks like it's trying to regain that claim to the throne, and it feels like it's going that way. So it's awesome. I'm excited for it, and hope you guys are as well. This has been a long video. I will see you guys in the next video, and until next time, my name is Shinobi, and thanks for watching.